I'm John Stanmeyer. I'm a photographer with the agency 7. The Geographic asked me to do a story on the global scope of malaria that is truly on epic proportions on our planet. And it reminded me very much of the work I'd done with AIDS, which was related to the migratory pattern of the virus across borders and bodies of water. And what was brilliant about this story and classic National Geographic approach was looking at it on a massive global level. 1 million people die of malaria per year, 3,000 alone every day in the continent of Africa. We wanted to build laterally in a context, in many ways, of educating and trying to show something that is malaria that is so oftentimes overlooked. Sort of the macabre, evil dance that malaria and HIV/AIDS have when their immune system is already hammered, already compromised. To get malaria is almost a death sentence. We spent a lot of time at the Canon Mission Hospital, way in northwest Zambia, up and along the Congo-Angola border. And I ran into Edwin, one of the many unfortunate malaria patients there. And his parents had transported him in by bicycle, by walking, from a very remote part of the country. And he came in and he started to go cerebral. 2 days later, I had to leave for a few days, do something else, and came back. And when I came back, there was Edwin sitting up and playing with his family again. A tragic and yet classic and brilliant example of if you can have access to fundamental medicines, basic medicines, if you have access to a mosquito net, something very, very simple, malaria can be prevented. There's many places on Earth, in one place, India, Calcutta, that has a very high level of malaria cases, and yet it's a concrete jungle. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of these public baths that are just pumping liter upon liter upon liter of water. Studies had shown that this water moves away from this area where it's turbulent, where mosquitoes cannot get a foothold in, but the water becomes stagnant, the sediment drops, and that thin layer of sediment-clear water becomes a perfect breeding ground once again for malaria. They manufacture thousands and thousands of nets, and I thought, well, how do you approach it? I don't know. I never really think about these things. It's sort of like this gentleman sitting in front of a sewing machine, surrounded by an entire embankment of snow, and the snow was the mosquito nets, and it was a very poetic, beautiful moment as he just keeps tossing out a net after he's put seams together and moved on to the next. 7 really reaches out to the community in educational programs, in collective gallery showings on social issues that mean something to us collectively, projects that we work together on. 2008 is going to be filled with a lot of those collective gatherings where all of us, all 10 of us, come together and really scream and talk with one cohesive voice, yet still have our 10 very distinctive views on how we see the world. And there's a lot of interesting things coming up with 7, no question.